Paul, I hope you're very good. I'm Veronique and I'm back with a new video on Scope International. I'm going to keep going speaking about the dissertation. This time is going to be focused on the methodology. The methodology. We start with the informations and then I'm going to start with explaining how it has been processed through the CICAM, Coca-Cola and the Ministry of Defense. The method and the methodology. It is the beginning, the technique how to conduct a research, the study about the tools of the research, explain the method by which you may process with your research. Method, the end of any scientific research, the actual tool steps taken by which you conduct into your subject. Method is a technique for gathering research data. Methodology is the hierarchical paradigms frame of the reference through which the research is conducted. Interpret, design, conduct, analyze, and present it. Methodology can be broadly classified as a quantitative and qualitative research method applying the method used to do the research. The research methodology significant way to effectively solve a problem. The technique procedure have and applied during the course of the study research problem are known as a research method. It compares with both qualitative and quantitative method because the performance of research operations such as survey, case study, interview, quantitative questionnaire observations. They also found out that these are the approach which help in the collections of data, conducting research in order to achieve specific objectives such as theory, testing, and developments, all the instrument behavior used at various levels of the research activities such as making observations, data collections, data processing, drawing, inference, decisions making. The research method involves carrying experiment tests, survey, and so on, which research methodology deal with the study of the different techniques which can be utilized to performance and experimentation tests, survey, as so on. It is a study of methods so as it is to solve the research problem. It's the science of the learning the way research should be performed systematically. It is referred to the rigorous analysis of the method that apply the streams of the research to ensure that the conclusions drawn are valid, reliable, credible to the research tasks, and overview of the various steps that are chosen by the understand of the problem that has been undertaken to this research. Also, what has been said to the methodology, which is very important, the method is employed by the researcher during the study. It also classified the reason for using a particular method, a technique, no other, so that the result obtained can be assessment either by the researcher himself or any other party. The result in this section, you should describe to what extent you achieve your goal. You should describe how you have demonstrated that the system works as an internet, include a comprehensive summary of the result of the critical text that you were carried out of the full rigorous text. You may not even go as far as producing a stable system. However, you should try to indicate how confident that when you establish that. This is also places describe the reasoning behind the test to evaluate your result. What tests to execute, what results show, what the execution to test. You may also contain a discussion of how you are aligning your experimentation to verify the hypothesis or more systematically and scientifically oriented project. In this case, you have a view of how the methodology can be made. So now I'm going to give an example from organization. So I started with the methodology of CICAM Cameroon, the project that's made in 2014 to 2015. based on the transport logistics bachelor. So the methodology say this chapter discusses the process of how the research method is used to help to write this research. The chapter is following with 5 chapters such as quantitative data explanations. Secondly, also talking about the literature review data. The third chapter talk about the data collections. The fourth chapter talk about the data analysis, and the third chapter discuss the limitations of the research. To be able to make the distinction, it was very important to collect data from different sources as methods such as qualitative and quantitative, primary or secondary research, or case study or literature base. Therefore, this chapter gave the following strategy which has been useful to select the data and to make the distinction. Then, the rest of the method of the research are the primary data and the secondary data. Primary data has different type of data, for example, company reports, email. Secondary data has different type of data which are, for instance, book informations from the company, summons, journals, and YouTube. According to a researcher, data analysis is concerned with the analysis of data, of the kind or any means. If statistics are collecting and interpret data, as some have been claimed, ranking from planning the collections to presenting the collections, then it is cover all the data analysis and some more. The case study process about the current supply chains of African textile brand in CICAM Cameroon. In order to be able to make the start of the dissertations, the researcher was focused on the hypothesis. Before to make the hypothesis part, it was very useful to write the background of the research by providing the purpose of the project and the variations why that subject should be analyzed. According to the researcher, in addition, by asking such questions, that has been useful to create a hypothesis, which are suppositions or proposed explanations made on the basis of limited evidence starting points for further investigations. Also, hypotheses may be proven correct or wrong and must be capable of refutable quantitative data explanations. Quality data collections may to play an important role in impact evaluations by providing useful to understand the process behind observed result as a change in people perceptions, their well-being. The qualitative method may completely used in evaluations but be classified in 3 categories. In-depth interview, observations method, document review. In this case, the research has been focused to make the survey questions for student University of Huddersfield, retail of textile of Huddersfield, and people in France, Germany, and Switzerland. In addition, the researcher used the method questionnaire and asked questions face-to-face to the student at the University of Huddersfield, the retail in Huddersfield University, people in France, Switzerland, Germany, and France. For the research, it was very useful. Face-to-face, so that those people will ask more questions, the more open questions. They did not understand the question, however, the answer has been useful to create graphs according to the answer. Then after that, the research has been analyzed. Those graphs get the result from that. The literature review. To be able to write the literature review, the research has been using information from primary and secondary data. The primary data was about getting information from the website about the researcher by being a large continent and being the second largest and the second most populous continent on Earth, with an estimation of population in 2013 of 1 billion people. How can the continent could reply to the demand and so on? Secondary data provide web reference, journal, YouTube, and book, which has been relevant to reference for the dissertations. The current supply chain of African textile brand to the African continent. According to the qualitative data, is extremely very mature, is including virtuality, any information that can capture and that can actually numerical in a true such an interview that the research has been made through the graph and numerical information that has been helped for the research to analyze and write the results about such and what the student think about where African material according to the figure. Most of them are very interesting way because it is joyful colors and so on. Also, the research has been used, the qualitative approach to collect the data. The reason is because the method have to get more information about the current supply chain African textile brand to African continent. Data collections. The data collection is a synergy of qualitative and quantitative data. In addition, because the researcher collected data from the website of CICAM Cameroon, which has been useful to understand the current supply chain African textile brand in Cameroon. In addition, the researcher received information from mail from the director of the CICAM Cameroon and also got a stakeholder report of 2014 of CICAM Cameroon in Cameroon. This email information from the web and the report has been useful responding to the aim and the objective of the dissertation. Limitations and the research and strategy used in the research. The distance was an issue for the research to accomplish the quicker, fastest dissertation. In addition, because the relevant data the first time provided was not accurate. For the researcher to accomplish the dissertations, in addition also because some of the information of the company of the current supply chain of Africans brands were not available on the internet, so the research had a limitation of informations. The strategy was to gain information from various manufacturing in YouTube, then compare the secondary data with primary data and then write. This chapter describes the different tools which has been used, such as primary, secondary data, qualitative, quantitative. In addition, the primary data is the data the research collects from the industry to make link to the secondary data, which has the functions of getting information for websites, YouTube books, and reach on. The secondary data was useful to write the literature review. The primary data and secondary data became synergy because that helped to make the discussions of the dissertation according to the question and objective questions. Therefore, the quantitative and qualitative numerical data such information has been collected from the primary data, such as quick graph and table according to table provided from the primary data. The quality data is what's actually to analyze and write about it. Conclusions, we have here the methodology of CICAM Cameroon. Now, let's go to the methodology of Coca-Cola. This one is because I use technical. Chapter methodology and data collections methodology. A research methodology is a key success for understanding a project. The dissertation will use the method epistemology, ontology, and positivist. Epistemology can be established without ontologies. Ontology can define the being of an organization. In addition, ontology is the important understanding of what epistemology acknowledges. The Coca-Cola Company Vision 2020 is to have a technology innovation to control its internal external markets. Therefore, the study analysis identifies how accurate master data affect the manufacturing information systems for across distribution network, include the performance of data for the fulfillment of significant requirements. Therefore, epistemology perspective is significant and important because it lists initial research questions by identifying 3 variable M and link with 4 variable objectives. To acquire knowledge through the analysis. The research found out the resource-based view used over the artificial intelligence are the key for organizations, but they have not differentiated themselves over the market to be competitive. However, the chapter 2 discusses about how the value chain period generate the master data, error, and inventory forecast problem with technology and technical skill have a significant impact on the performance of the organizations. Fortunately, organizations use artificial intelligence, mathematical model, neural network, fuzzy selection of supply, maintenance, productions, and transportations in link to the social culture of the organization need to differentiate its data against its competitor. In addition, the knowledge defined our distribution network use a decentralization and centralization that can affect the purchase order and shipment. If an organization doesn't know what type of system they will use, the production capacity of the warehouse will not be able to cover the requirement of the customer. Fortunately, positivist is an epistemology position that will demonstrate the type of method that use the result numerical concern or BS company as defined the research to analyze and measure to bring a solution. Fortunately, the chapter 5 we discuss how positivism method result the constraints to the creation decision tree to measure the supply performance of the supply relationship management, customer relationship management measured through the ERP system, material model in the link with the decentralization centralization system. It is improving the flow of purchase order shipment through the creation of software with synergy of following software SAP OTM EADR warehouse management, which will be the key to eliminate error through the supply chain accurate data to optimize the inventory costs, forecast, maintenance, productions, and transportation. They are reliable and validate data. As the study will implement internal and external key, which affect the customer and the supply relationship over the Coca-Cola company to accomplish their vision of 2020 to the market. Secondary data collections. The secondary data collections contain archive academic source and official statistics and TTC reports and articles. The chapter literature review of this dissertation used 39 academic journals, 1 journal from Google, 3 ebook, 8 book, 1 YouTube videos, and 5 report and article of TTC included with 1 academic journal. Those references collected through academic sources on the website discuss and analyze the subject. The secondary data is focused on the artificial intelligence, mathematical agglomerative forecast master data, data collaboration as an effective result on organizational value, technical skill artificial intelligence master data create a rare competitive advantage, inimitable organization, supply selections to the key solutions in procurement supply chain management. ERP system can control the big data share between CIM and supply chain relationship management. Decision tree is design relationship between the CIM and CRM information data. An effective precise order process impact the positive the distribution network. Decentralization and centralization optimize the plan of transportation through agglomerated mathematical formula. And Coca-Cola 2020 having innovation technology. Though the secondary data which will be discussed and compared with the final data to the discussion sections are the following. All master data are analyzing and shared in a inventory master data database. Supply chain selection criteria and the supply chains and the supply chain resource supply chains module. In addition, an agglomerated performance of the supply identify and allocate each supply performance. The collaborations or information to influence the organization when data are collected from various research. And use of ESRMS and our enterprise resource application architecture source and how to influence the database on the way between CRM and SRM by the use of ERP systems. Fortunately, this tree is providing the classification of supply performance. Data collections decentralization system are the key for purchase orders and shipment for modeling and centralization and decentralization production network. In including with 2 mathematical model and design of geographical positions, purchase order mathematical model on maintenance scheduling and transportation, or product component performance, the assembly tax and delivering the finished product to the dealer to the design intelligence search agglomerate. Data collection TTC website social report article Coca-Cola 2018, 2017, 2016. Primary data collection. The collection of data did during my placement years and Coca-Cola from 2013 to 2014. The type of data collection method of this dissertation will be illustrative, which is documentation data collected from Coca-Cola. Those methods can be monitored through technology to have an efficient performance at the workplace for analysis and monitoring operation, internal, external. External list of constraints. The list of ingredients extract from the SAP systems identify the purchase shipment plan productions. The list of significant of CCM because it contains all the information coming from internal and external. Master data SAP to OTM the logistics department email to the planning team. This list master data issue SAP and OTM list contain the measure of the release of the order and no release. SAP OTM PowerPoint slide. The PowerPoint slide was collected by email. The logic team sent the planning team a request have them rectify the data when the purchase order doesn't appear in the system. Data analysis. Data analysis shows depend on the data collected. 2 types of category are categorical data. nominal data or ordinal data, and those identify numeric data. The quantified data is a measure of numerical and can classify into categories, which are interval and ration. However, the dissertation we use the quantitative and qualitative method and analyze the data with Excel and SPSS. In order, the following data identify what type of category the dissertation we use, such as nominal bar chart. We provide qualitative data frequency, polygon and ratio will also be analyzed. So, category of data analysis source is focused on the nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Bar chart, P chart, histogram. Nominal is P chart, bar chart. Ordinal is frequency polygons. Interval is it's only frequency polygons, and ratio is frequency polygon. Therefore, if we have numerous thematic analysis who will link to the research questions to give a response and the meaning within the primary data. In addition, in decision tree and the ESM, we have the model. This will be built after the analysis of the supply performance at the CCM internal performance. The research constraint the virtual meeting will be proposed as the alternative of the COM Center software we'll be creating, and we link to the data of the chapter 2 discussed chapter 5. Fortunately, analysis will be reliable and validated because the list of constraints identify quantitative and qualitative data, or the main reason the constraint to push us for the shipment supply performance and performance from 2011 to 2013. The establishment of push us order created by the vendor scheduling and planner to cover the productions at the system. In addition, mathematical model we propose by the selection, supply, and transportations. These are very focused on the thematic data analysis source. So it is figure estimation of the forecast push out order from 2012 to 2013, type of data, and several quantitative. Presenting analysis data, regression line, demonstrating forecasting, analyzing interface, Excels, potential statistics, that's not available. Performance Finder of 2012-2013, category quantified, representing analysis data, 2 table ordinal, 3 table multivariable test, analytic interface, SPSS, Excels, potential statistic, main, Whitney, U test in value, grammar, V, range for value. Figure name, decision tree of independent variable, root of constraint, and vendor description 2013 and 12. Type of analysis, category role, presented the analysis, 2 nominal nodes, ones from 0 to 3, analysis interface, SPSS, potential statistic, that's chi-square. Order plans to view 2012-2030 quantitative, type of analysis, presenting analysis data, nominal 4 bar chart, analysis interface, SPSS, potential statistic, sum of square and mean square. Number of pushers order shipment from 2020 to 2013. Type of analysis, quantitative. Presenting analysis data, nominal bar chart, decision tree, analysis interface, Excel, SPSS, and potential test, chi-square. In this case, let me speak about the founding data. So I've been speaking about the methodology part of Coca-Cola and CICAM. So see you for the next video for the Ministry of Defense. I'm going to give you a view on how I made I can explain, it's very quick. So basically I'm going to make a video straight away. I finished this one, and then you're gonna have another video based on the Ministry of Defense, focus on the methodology of mode of the 3 dissertations that I made. So thank you very much for your listening. I'll see you later for the next video.